How's it going, everybody? My name's Casanova. I just want to sit down and make this video real quick before I go to bed for the night, and I just want to talk to you guys about Starfield. So the Xbox Bethesda showcase was about 6 months ago, which means we can realistically expect, according to Microsoft, the game to come out within the next 6 months. But there's this take that I keep seeing on the internet about people just being fundamentally disappointed by the fact that Starfield only has, a couple planets that'll be populated, and most planets are just going to be barren ice rocks, right? So we have this group called the Settled Systems. So we can imagine there's like 3 to 5 solar systems that are actually habited. That there's 3 to 5 solar systems that actually have what's called a Goldilocks planet, where life can realistically be sustained. And what a Goldilocks planet is, it's a planet that's just right. It's not too close to the sun or too hot or too far for the sun or too cold, within the perfect radius for liquid water to exist, which is just the key to life. And so Goldilocks planets are extraordinarily rare, which is why it's called Goldilocks, right? You have to find the one that's just right. And so in Starfield, there's going to be about 1,000 planets, and I would imagine maybe 5 to 10 to 15 max of them will have like actual handcrafted content from Bethesda. And that's okay, because if you didn't know this about space, we only know of one planet that has life on it, and that's this one. And Starfield isn't just going to have one planet to explore. It's going to have several planets with life and cities on it, right? We at least know there's Mars, and then there's Genesis with New Atlas or whatever, right? I can't really remember the name of the city. But we at least know of 2 planets with 2 cities, so they're 2 relatively Goldilocks planets. Now, Mars is a harsher environment, so I would imagine people living on Mars would need suits to survive in the atmosphere, unlike people on Genesis, because Genesis looks to be a Goldilocks planet. But most planets in the game aren't going to be populated, because most planets in real life aren't actually populated. Most planets cannot sustain life. So the notion that it's disappointing that out of the 1,000 planets, maybe 10 of them will actually have life on them, that's just kind of how space works. So you should look at it from that perspective rather than be disappointed in the fact that there's not 1,000 planets with 1,000 cities and 1,000 different races. That would be really cool. But Bethesda isn't trying to make Star Wars. They're trying to make Starfield. And in Starfield, there's going to be 1,000 planets, and most of them are going to be empty, barren rocks, just like real space. And another reason why I think, well, there's 2 reasons why I think this is no big deal. One of which, it's going to feel more immersive, because planets with life will feel much more substantial, and you'll remember them much more, because out of the grand total of 1,000 planets, a very small percentage of them actually have life on them. Which means when you find a planet with life, like I'd imagine you'd be able to just stumble across a planet with creatures on it, that's going to be a memorable experience, because most planets don't have life. So it kind of just brings this vibe of exploration and triumph to the game. And then the other reason is mods. Imagine that a group of modders sit down together and get on a Teams call or a Discord call, and they each pick a planet, and then they just go ham. Hundreds and hundreds of planets, each created and curated by hundreds and hundreds of modders to make their own stories, to make their own literal world. So the existence of 1,000 barren planets, or most planets of the 1,000 being barren, empty wastelands, just kind of makes sense because of Goldilocks planets. And I think not only will it be more immersive, but it creates substantially more opportunities for modders to just go in and go crazy than Skyrim or Fallout 4 ever did. Because Skyrim's a country on the continent of Tamriel, and Fallout 4 just takes place in Boston. So we're going from countries, cities, and in the case of Elder Scrolls Online, the continent of Tamriel, to literal thousands of planets. So I'm sure modders will find something to do with the empty planets, just like they've always found things to do with empty sections of the map on Skyrim. So, I don't think it's a big deal that most planets are going to be barren and empty, because that's just how space works. But I just wanted to sit down and talk about this real quick. It's just been kind of driving me crazy that people seem to be disappointed about this. I think it'll be more immersive. Let me know if you agree with me down below. Like and subscribe for more content, and go check out my tech channel, Release Radar. I'm trying to get that up to 3,000 subscribers by the end of the month. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.